Welcome to my sketchbook tour. It's a sketchbook I've had for many years but never used it. I bought it because it was super cheap and I didn't even know back then there was difference in paper. So the sketchbook I'm working with in this one is actually not even made for watercolor, but I went for it. But first, let me show you what I usually make. A paintograph. What is it? It is a combination of photography and painting, and I put it on organic unbleached cotton like you see here. I'm looking for a small one so it's easier for me to come close up to the peanut butter on the side. So it's easier to come to the lens to show you some close-ups. Okay, got it, this one. This one is made in Pamphul, if I'm not mistaken. It's a beach in Brittany in France. Like you see, this is a combination of photograph and painting. I usually paint these fabrics with a lot of water. It's wet on wet, and I use organic inks like onion juice, chamomile, turmeric, indigo. So it's really wet process. And when I started sketching in my sketchbook, it was raining for a whole week and I wanted to paint, and that's how I actually started sketchbooking. So before we dive in, let's set the mood. So let me warn you, it's been 20 years that I sketched in a sketchbook before. So this one was the first I did in Nazare. Actually, this was not the first. The first try I did was that one you see on the front page. And I said see, I cannot do it. This looks like shit. But if you know me, I'm a very impatient person. And I said, okay, Anouk, this was 5 minutes. Now put some energy in it and make it good. And then this came out and I was okay with it. This one was a parking lot. I was parked for a whole week waiting to see the big waves in Nazare, and this was my view. It was a parking lot where a lot of vans were standing and waiting for the big waves. It poured rain for 9 days, but I wanted to stay there because the forecast was that the waves were going to be huge, and then I'm talking about more than 20 meters. You have to Google this place, Nazare big waves, and you will see. Did I see them? No. After 9 days of pouring rain, water leaking in the van, the forecast changed, the wind was onshore and it was completely blown out. So yeah, this one is made in Peniche. I was looking for my style, so here you can see I'm experimenting with colors. I'm not a person to put in boxes, so then I thought, why do I put my colors in boxes? I'm not gonna make the water only blue, the beach only beige, so I messed up some stuffs. Here I tried out a more panoramic view. It was also made in Peniche. It's a beautiful spot. You see there the skyline. Was I happy with it? No, because it was more like an oil painting from the vibe I got. So I redid it in more playful watery color vibe. This one, it's not even worth close up. It's not finished. I painted it on the beach in Sagres. I took my watercolors with me on the beach, and when wet, the wind blew all the sand in there and I had to clean up a lot. So that's a tip, don't bring your watercolors to the beach. Here I started doodling, and how cute is this nose riding shell? I think it's super adorable. So they always talk about the locals, about the local surfers, but I think no, the locals are actually the plants and the animals that live at that beach. So they need to respect this. That's why this little homage. Here we are at Arifana. Beautiful spot also, but not easy to park overnight. So it's a day trip, and then in the night you must drive out of Arifana to not have a ticket from the cops. Here I'm really experimenting with like orange in the water, all the colors like blended. This one is Castellejo, beautiful beach with beautiful rocks, and it was not summer then, so the sunset was beautiful behind that rocks. Here I experimented with the blue pen instead of the black one. Another experiment with the blue marker instead of the black pen. I didn't really like it. It wasn't fine enough. That one was the era when I saw every artist drawing flowers, so I tried it and it was like, no, it's not my thing. Here I tried out oil pastels, which I like the texture, but also I did not really drew my subject, let's put it that way. Now these things, here I am experimenting with a blue pen, and on this side I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put the place, because I went with my art to a surf shop and they wanted it on not only on postcards but also on t-shirts, and my name should be on there and the place, so it was Peniche. So here I am experimenting with what to put where. There's a lot of these experiments still, I think, for many pages. Yeah, here's the name on top, and then I made some thumbnails. I'm experimenting with fonts. This one also Castellejo, but a surfer girl this time, because I usually, in the past, I always drew guys. So I'm like, let me put a girl. Some more fonts. Peniche, Arifana, Supertubus. Okay, this one I really liked. I experimented more with some framing, like how I do with my pictures. You have to have several layers. You have to have this nice bokeh or whatever. So I thought, why I'm not doing this in my drawings? To have something on the foreground going on and then something on the background. Here it's the first time I think I colored the surfboards. So it's a little bit more playful, and I kept the rest neutral because of the sandy beach and no plants. And this is usually how I sketch. I make one just outline on the page above, and then I do the real thing underneath. This is one I made for Josie Prendergast. Yeah, it's a famous surf girl, woman model, and I tagged her on Instagram and the picture from her. You can see it there. This one is also in Peniche. This is actually not the original one. I painted the original one for my friend who was parked next to me. So shout out to Apolena. She has a blue surfboard, so that's her. And then I took a picture of the original, and then after, when I was in France, I redrew this because I wanted to make a postcard from it. Now that I started to define my own style a little bit, I wanted to try again the panoramic one. And I had the idea of making this into a mug, these metallic mugs, enamel mugs. So I did make some samples from this one already, but the quality wasn't good. So this is still in the pipeline, I think, for spring 2024. When I said I was already finding my style a little bit, I thought, let me redraw the one with the big waves from Nazare. So let's make the comparison. This one was like the second sketch I drew, and this one is more like what it is now. So the flowers in the front, the framing, and then the huge waves. You see like the tiny little surfer there on the second wave. This is a retrying for my logo. Here I was still thinking in merge, so I actually also did 3 types of bikinis. Which color do you like the best? Let me know in the comments. Here I am experimenting with the logo a little bit to put in front of the t-shirts, with little wave or with surfboards, and trying to figure out how I'm curving the letters. So I don't have an iPad, so I did everything again and again and again. Here I'm having some tags for clothing, and that's my dog. I put a poll on Instagram to ask what should I draw, and my dog came up, so I said, okay, let's give it a try. It's not easy, huh? I have to say. This is actually a screensaver that I painted it was a freebie if you signed up for my newsletter, and I really liked it, so I did make the same in postcard format a little bit later on. This is Galicia in Spain, the north of Spain. It has a lot of beautiful pine and eucalyptus trees very close to the beach. And here's that same painting, but in a postcard format. Some fishies. These are actually fish that exist and that I copied from photographs from a book. Some of these I redrew in my next sketchbook, which I will also make a video from in the next coming weeks, I don't know yet, and some doodling there. This was postcard of the month, I think from September. I was really drawn to the underwater world, so yeah. Here I tried out a Nemo outside of the frame. And these are the color swatches that I made for my video about how I make some pigments and paints. The first tryout, and then this was the one that I got that made it to the video, let's put it that way. So that's it. Some of these travel sketches made it into postcards, and I'll show you which one. I will make some other ones which are not made yet from this sketchbook. These postcards are now available in my shop. Some of them, like this one, is already really low in stock, so hurry if you still want to get your hands on this one. And in the next video I will show you how I make these. These are also paintographs, but not on canvas, but on aquarelle paper. So stay tuned, bye!